Alright, so this will be the Eldar force for today. It's very similar to the forces I've been running in a previous bat reps. Starting off, we have a patrol detachment headed by a autarch Skyrunner. He's got a laser lance, and he also has the relic, which will be the Phoenix gem. I'm going to be much more aggressive with him than I was in previous videos, so hopefully that relic will actually come to play. Then I have a Spirit Seer. For troops, I have 2 Dire Avenger units. This one here, the Exarch has Blade Storm and 2 Dire Avenger Shuriken catapults. Same thing over here, except the Exarch only has 1 catapult. Then I have 2 identical units of Wraith Blades, all with the axes and shields. Next, a 7-man unit of Shining Spears. The Exarch, I think I gave him Swooping Dive for the extra distance on the charge, but I have to check that. And then lastly, I have a Wave Serpent, and thankfully the FAQ just came out, which made critical targeting matrices better. So he's going to have one of those, which lets him fire heavy weapons as when he advances, as if they're assault weapons. So he's going to have 2 star cannons, and then a shuriken cannon on the bottom. And I think he also has vectored engines, and he might have star engines. I can't remember. I was a little tight on the points there. Then I have a Spearhead, led by my new Farseer Skyrunner. A unit of Dark Reapers, all with Reaper launchers and Rapid Shot for the Exarch. 2 no upgrades units of Fire Prisms. And then lastly, a Hemlock that's going to be proxied as a, Crimson Hunter Exarch with Star Cannons, and his Exarch power will be Evade. My craft world, I'm actually going to be running 2 separate craft worlds. This one will be, they're both going to be custom. One will be, it's Masterful, no, the other one's Masterful Shots, and, gosh, I'm totally blanking on the free rerolls one.
Salamander reroll.
The Salamander style reroll one. Same for this one, but instead of Masterful Shots, it'll be Hunters of Ancient Relics for the extra attack near objectives.
So this is my army we're going to be doing today. Obviously they're all Iron Hands again. So to start off, we have my Chapter Master's back. This time he's running as a Primaris Chapter Master, so he just has a power sword and then the Master Crafted Stalker Bolt Rifle. We have Pharos again, another HQ. And then for the final HQ, we have a Captain on a bike with a Thunderhammer and a Storm Shield, so I thought that would be pretty fun to make and run today. And then we also have, as far as elites go, we have an Apothecary. He's going to be the Warlord again today. He has the Father of the Far Future, which basically buffs the Iron Hands 6-up, Feel No Pain to a 5-up. We have the Judicars back again. This time we're running an Aggressor Squad. They all have the Bolt Storm Gauntlets and the Auxiliary Grenade Launchers. We also have just a unit of 5 regular Bolt Rifle Intercessors, 2 units of Auto Bolt Rifle Intercessors, 2 units of Eradicators, 2 Contemptors, each with the Twin Last Cannon, Dreadnought Combat Weapon, and the Cyclone Rockets, which just aren't on the model. And then we have a Relic Whirlwind Scorpius as an Impulsor. Well, the Impulsor is playing as the Relic Whirlwind. And then to top it off, we have a detachment of Legion of the Damned.
Alright, so the mission we will be playing today will be No Man's Land. As you can see, we have a new gaming mat, and really excited to actually play with this. If you weren't able to guess, it's Jacob's, as it matches the basing on all his troops pretty well. So we have 1 center objective here, 1 up there, 1 down there, and then 1 in each of the deployment zones. So for secondaries, the Iron Hands went with Bring It Down, because I have 4 vehicles that they could get that for: Attrition and Secure No Man's Land, which is the mission secondary, which means at the end of your turn, if you control the center objective, then you get number of victory points equal to the turn number. For Eldar, I went with Engage on All Fronts. Pretty standard for Eldar. I also went with Secure No Man's Land and Assassinate, as he has 3 characters. So now we're going to roll off, see who gets to choose attacker defender. what'll it be?
I think I'll attack first.
All right. Catch you after deployment. So here we are deployed, and before we go into where and why we deployed, I just wanted to say that this is the day that the codex, the new codex for the Space Marines comes out. So we don't actually have that yet, but we have the FAQs. So we're probably doing some weird stuff that either will soon not be allowed or is already not allowed, and we just don't know it. But just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. Also, I forgot to mention that my Warlord will be Spirit Seer, and he'll have Seer of the Shifting Vector, which will be pretty much just use it to reroll psychic tests. And then he'll have Protect Jinx, and the Farseer will have Guide and Doom. So, onto deployment. Talk about mine first. So, I have a really big blob here with Wraith Blades at the front, then Shining Spears, and my two bike characters, the Farseer and the Autarch there. I'm pretty much just there to threaten those two objectives, and the bikes can reach the other one if they really need to. Two Fire Prisms in the back, Dark Reapers as well. Then over here we have the Crimson Hunter Exarch, along with my Wave Serpent. Inside is the Spirit Seer and the other unit of Wraith Blades. A little funky deployment. I feel like I should have positioned a little differently, but for the terrain that we have, this is kind of what we got. In my opinion, placing terrain is kind of an art form, and I'm not that great at it, so if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. And also, we're going to call this the Magic Box. There's another one over here too, so those guys are going to be inside it and can't see in, can't see out, pretty much. All right, Space Marine deployment.
Yeah, so basically I just kind of lined them up, kind of pulling for first turn, as I don't have much cover up in front of my deployment zone, and I have this nice little box over here, so everything just kind of, some of it hid, I hid what I could, but the rest of them were just kind of ready to push up and try to get some of the middle objectives.
All right, so you want to grab a dice and let's roll off? You can just use that yellow one there if you want. All right, this is the game decider right here. Oh no. Okay, reroll. Oh, okay. Getting tense. Oh no. Gotta reroll.
Yes!
Oh, well, I take it you're gonna go first
Iron
then.
Hands.
Here we are after Iron Hands movement.
Alright, so basically the Relic Whirlwind Scorpius, that's out where it was. If it is where it is, it allows it to shoot twice, which is kind of nice, so it's not going to stay, so it's going to stay there. These intercessors move from up here just over here to secure the point. Basically, the general idea is that everything just kind of shifted up to get to the center. This dreadnought came from over here, and this dreadnought came from over here. And these guys advanced up there. Most of the stuff in here advanced over the bike, he just moved. And then these guys did the normal movement. And then the Legion of the Damned are still in the Aether, so that's my movement phase. At the end of my shooting phase, I was able to kill most of the Dire Avengers over here. I was able to pick off some of his Shining Spear bikes with various units. I also was able to do a little bit of damage to this Fire Prism and a little bit of damage to this Wave Serpent. In addition, I was also able to kill the majority of his Dark Reaper squad with my Scorpius.
Which is pretty huge. Nothing died at least, but still a decent amount of damage, and just barely bracketed the Wave Serpent there. But I'll catch you back after movement for Eldar turn 1. Here we are at the end of Eldar movement. So this blob kind of moved forward just to go up there and contest that objective. These guys stay put because they can shoot at shoot at what I want them to, i.e. the Dreadnought this turn. Wave Serpent went over to capture that objective. Still got the Wraith Blade and Spirit Seer inside. Then we got the Crimson Hunter Exarch flew over here to shoot into whatever needs some shooting into. And the lonely Dire Avenger Exarch popped up just to provide what little support he can. All right, catch you after shooting. Here we are at the end of Eldar shooting. I managed to put some wounds on the captain right there. He's taken 4. He's got 2 left. Hopefully can finish him off in combat. He is doomed. So hopefully that'll help me out there. Managed to put some wounds on this dreadnought here, and then I killed an intercessor or 2 here and there in this middle blob, and also one of the eradicators. And so I did something kind of weird that, as far as I know, is allowed, but it kind of feels like it shouldn't be. So I had my Crimson Hunter Exarch over there in a movement, and I shot with him, and after I shot, I used Fire and Fade to move him off the table. He can use that because he has Fly, and then I'll be able to bring him on next turn, I believe, with my during my movement phase. If you know of anything that says that's definitely not allowed, definitely leave a comment below so I don't do that again. But it is now charge o'clock for the Eldar going against this big force in the center. Alright, here we are at the end of the fight phase for Eldar. So I managed to remove his captain. The Wraithblades also did some damage to the Intercessor unit, leaving only 1 of them left there. This other Intercessor unit got chopped down to 3. And then my Farseer actually managed to kill an Eradicator, which is very surprising. But he now contests that objective, which is very important. Sadly, that one Intercessor there is still in range of the center objective, so they still have that one because of objective secured. And he almost, but not quite, ran away. Very sad.
The end of my movement phase, the Scorpius and these intercessors stayed where they were. The Apothecary just healed one of the Thunderhammer Sergeants for a wound. Pharos healed up the Contemptor that took a bunch of wounds for 3 wounds. And both the Contemptors just kind of shifted up a little bit. This whole group of stuff over here has kind of moved up to right there. The Aggressors moved over here to go towards that objective. And the Legion of the Damned also came out of the Aether, and they're just right there.
Alright, here we are for the recap for Iron Hands turn 2.
So basically at the end of the shooting, I was able to kill the Autarch Skyrunner over here, contesting this point with my Eradicator. The Dreadnought just
Farseer Skyrunner.
Farseer Skyrunner, he just kind of punched him. Over here, I was able to wipe out that whole unit of Wraith Blades with a combination of the Dreadnought and Pharos. And then over here, I was able to kill this Autarch Skyrunner.
Yes.
But then he did his little Phoenix Gem thing where he comes back to life. Well, he dies and does the D3 mortal wounds to everybody, and then he comes back to life with 1 wound, so that's why you see a bunch of these guys kind of took some damage over here. And then Legion of the Damned tried to charge the tank, but they didn't make it, so they're just chilling.
Yep. So end of the turn, not looking great for the Eldar. Didn't really lose that many whole units, but things are just getting whittled down pretty quick. So I'll see you again after movement for Eldar turn 2. Alright, so the end of Eldar movement. These guys pushed up, just abandoning that objective. But the Dire Avengers here and the lone Exarch over there managed to push forward and objective secure those objectives away from the Iron Hands. Kind of risky, for sure. Definitely going to die next turn, especially that Exarch over there. Maybe 1 or 2 of these guys will survive. Wounded Fire Prism backed it up over here to try and avoid more shots coming in from the what are these guys called? Legion of the Damned? Yep. And then not Hemlock Wraith Fighter, Crimson Hunter Exarch appeared back over here, and then those guys stayed in combat over there. I wish I could have pulled them back, but then they would have been useless for this turn anyway. Yeah, that's movement. Alright, here we are, end of Eldar turn 2. So I made a charge here into the Dreadnought. Some unlucky for me, lucky for Jacob, Overwatch, and failed 3-up invulns. A lot of those meant that these Wraith Blades are down to 1 guy, and I only chipped off I think it ended up being like 2 or 3 wounds off the dreadnought. So still securing those 2 objectives into my turn. I just barely managed to get engaged in all fronts thanks to my Spirit Seer. I do control the No Man's Land, the center objective, and then did get Assassinate this turn, but I got 10 from the primary at the beginning or at the end of my command phase this turn.
So at the end of my turn 3, I was able to clear this Dire Avenger off of this point over here, so now I have that one. I killed the Dire Avenger squad that was over here, finished off the Wraithblade squad over here. Pharaoh's consolidated into the Autarch Skyrunner. The aggressors were able to finish off his Spirit Seer over here, and we killed a Shining Spear that was just kind of chilling over here. And so we still haven't been able to kill this Dark Reaper over here yet. He's been hit a couple times and saved it a lot. And these tanks are still chilling.
Yep. Not looking very good for the Eldar, but we'll at least have one more turn of it and see what happens. Alright, here we are at the end of Eldar turn 3. So I think I'll be calling it, you know. Only got 2 units left on the table. This turn pretty much, this Fire Prism jumped forward just to spite Jacob and kill his chapter master who has yet to survive a game. So, you know, and you interpret what that says about that chapter master, you know. So Fire Prism jumped forward, both of them blasted into it, and then he charged Pharaohs, did nothing, and Pharaohs killed the Autarch Skyrunner there. So leaving me with only 2 Fire Prisms and 1 Dark Reaper Exarch. So I think that is safe to say that the Iron Hands won. And points also say that. This turn I did manage to get Assassinate when I killed his Warlord there. And also I got 1 or 5 points for holding 1 objective. And then Jacob got Bring It Down for killing my, oh god, I can't remember. I always forget the name of playing. Like, it's not the Hemlock, it's the Crimson Hunter Exarch. There we go. And then he also got Attrition this turn, bringing him up to 31 versus my 26. Just looking back on it, I don't know, my list is like really weird because Eldar is supposed to be like really fast and kind of spread out, but my like Wraith Blades and the Shining Spears all require like the same psychic buffs, so they all really want Protect on them to get a 3-up invul, and they all want like Fortune, which I didn't even take this game, and it shows because they died pretty quick in the middle there, especially going up against the 5-up Feel No Pain provided by the Apothecary. Other than that, like, how you feel about the game? I mean, it went pretty good.
It did go pretty good. I think if I had to do something differently, I know the Whirlwind Scorpius, I thought it was just a cool unit when I saw it. It isn't as anti-tank as I would like, so I don't know if I'll use that again. Also, aggressors, they didn't do much this game. I guess you didn't have like too much infantry. Yeah. But then again, no one we really play with does, so I don't know if I'll be using them again. And Legion of the Damned, yeah, they're cool, but I don't know if I used them really wrong or if they just really aren't as worth it. I just don't think that unit of 10 was worth 275 points.
Yeah, I think there's a reason you don't see them very often, but even with that somewhat dead weight in your list, you still managed to pull it off pretty well. Mm-hmm. If I had to do something different, it'd probably just be like the way that I sent all of my stuff into the middle. I wish I was able to, if I had had first turn, it would have been very different. Mm-hmm. I was planning on trying to just push the Wraith Blades up, buffing them up, then second turn bring in the counter punch with the Shining Spears. But just the way things played out, it was either put in the Spears in the middle, then in first turn, or they're probably going to get shot to death. I feel like some of that's terrain, and I mean I placed the terrain, and I felt like it was really weird. I felt like it was a weird mixture of there's a lot of terrain, and then there's not a lot of terrain. Like I feel
Like
like
this thing right
like
here, like
both
you had
of
your
those.
entire army like behind this. So
Yeah.
there's a lot right here, but like my guys were just exposed. If you had first turn, that would have been kind of bad.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like we have a lot of small terrain pieces, but nothing's too like super impactful. And Eldar definitely likes some terrain pieces to move around and hide behind. But pretty good game, still fun. Hopefully next time, either I'll make the terrain different or something. We did talk about also making some like big giant rocks to go more with this kind of magma theme table, so get some more thematic kind of games in, which is definitely what we like, and I'm sure you guys like that too. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.